as another member of the Lucha Underground roster, making her way to the ring here, Ivelisse, former Trios champion on a couple of occasions. Certainly a very powerful individual, a very accomplished individual, and a very dangerous woman as well.
She is definitely one of these women that we've seen in different organizations, different arenas. She is definitely somebody that you don't want to get on her bad side. Just like earlier when we were saying that about Taya and Desi, I think we can go in with another ditto for Ivelisse here.
Ivelisse taking her time.
Making people wait.
That's right. That's what she's going to do this on her own time. And there she is. Dynamite superstar for Lucha Underground. Now here at Oaklamania. And looking to make an incredible impression here in the fans of Ardmore, Oklahoma. As she certainly wants to be considered one of the top competitors in the women's division here, as she is all over the world.
This was a woman who actually showed up on a season of Tough Enough at one point. This woman's come a far, far, long ways from that time, though, as she has reinvented herself to become what she is now, and that is one of the baddest women in the game. I think we heard somebody briefly just there say that.
I feel very honored to compete against one of the best in the world tonight. And the impact of my favorite, Gail Kim. There seems to be a two-tier problem. I am the best in the world. And what better way to prove that than by dismantling one of the best in the world? Shame, Elgin. It's a shame. Because it seems like your retirement plans just got cut short. So how about you guys sing along with me to a very fitting song? It starts something like this.
Now see, this is just disrespectful on the part of Ivelisse.
Why?
Are you deaf or stupid?
But there's no need for this taunting, there's no need for this attitude, because to try and put one over on her opponent that way. And there she is, fans. The one and only former world-class Diamond Division champion. As mentioned, an Impact Wrestling Hall of Famer, 5-time Knockouts champion, a woman whose name is so synonymous with women's wrestling around the world, the one and only Gail Kim.
This is a woman who, in her debut back in the WWE, became women's champion on her first night, where she won a Battle Royal of all things. Went on to become, I believe, the first Knockouts champion for
Yes.
TNA as well. Had a series of incredible matches with the likes of Awesome Kong and Angelina Love. Gail Kim is one of the most well-respected female competitors of all time. She has done battles with some of the greatest women that we've ever seen, especially back in those in those ruthless aggression days of WWE, where she stepped in the ring with the likes of Lisa Marie Vaughan. Those of you who remember her as Victoria or Tara. Trish, Lita, the names are endless as to the people Gail Kim has faced off in what has been one storied career. She is no doubt a legend in this sport.
And you mentioned that she is highly respected, and I'd say you're absolutely correct, except it's pretty obvious to me that Ivelisse does not respect her, given what she was saying prior to Gail Kim arriving here in the ring.
Well, now listen, Ed, but to that point, I respect Gail Kim, you respect Gail Kim, but you know, you can't really take too much away from Ivelisse. I get what she's doing here. You know, you gotta, at some point, look at the past as just that. It's the past. It's time to move forward. And that's what Ivelisse is just looking to do, is move forward with the future, as she calls herself a certain name that I will just paraphrase here and say she's the baddest you-know-what on the planet.
That's true. Very similar to what another crossover star likes to refer to herself as these days. But yes, Ivelisse at this time certainly seemed to be looking past Gail Kim. As I mentioned, it was known at this point that this was one of Gail Kim's last matches in her career. Definitely her last one here in Oklahoma. And she wanted to go out with a victory. And let's see what happens here, as it is Ivelisse able to escape from the side headlock and turn over into a hammerlock of sorts there before Gail Kim reverses that around into, I believe, a front face lock.
That's exactly what she reversed it to. And this should be a great matchup between Ivelisse and Gail Kim. Both women are about the same height and size. Both are quick and agile. So this should be quite the most interesting contest between two very competitive women.
Both men circling, or both women, ladies, I should say, circling around before Gail Kim ends up with a standing wrist lock. Quickly reversed there by Ivelisse, who applies quite a bit of torque onto that wrist. And Kim, again reversing. It's a very swift series of moves here between these two. Oh, nice deep arm drag there by Gail Kim, putting Ivelisse down.
And look at that, that's a nice grapevine of the arm there. A key lock there, as some would call it.
Both ladies back to their feet, and again.
Oh, and now,
Kim
nice shot there.
With the wrist lock, but you're right, Ivelisse, a couple of shots downstairs, one upstairs, and Ivelisse going to use that aerial ability that she has to propel Gail Kim over.
Well, this is what we were talking about earlier. We were talking about how she has made a name for herself in Lucha Underground. This woman is not unfamiliar with the lucha-based style of wrestling, which will serve her well in this match because Kim herself is a light, agile, high flyer in her own right. So this will be quite interesting to see a clash of styles as we see a head scissors takedown from Ivelisse.
Now we see a clash of the forehead to the mat there of Gail Kim, but Kim recovers quickly. Hurricane Rana takes down Ivelisse.
So far, it's been pretty even between these two.
Yes, that is true. It's been move for move. And now both women back to their feet and about to step to the ring to each other. Oh, wow!
There you go.
What a disrespectful move by Ivelisse.
The one thing you can't say about Ivelisse is that she's not consistent.
Well, I think that Ivelisse now is thinking better of what it is that she did, as she tries to put a little distance between herself so she can pull off that quick kick to the midsection and then ram Gail Kim's head onto that ring apron. Doing so again. And now laying Kim back. Big chop into the chest.
I definitely heard the echo throughout this arena right now, as Ivelisse is now firmly in the driver's seat, just stalking Gail Kim now.
Kim trying to recover from this, but really unable to do so yet, as there's a forearm by Ivelisse. There, she ducks that one though. And Russian leg sweep, propelling the head and back into the ring apron on the outside. That was something of a desperation move, but it has paid off for Kim as she's able to follow up.
But you got to remember, Ivelisse is no stranger to mixed martial arts either. Just like earlier when we were talking about Desi, Ivelisse has competed in MMA herself. She is
a nice schoolgirl there by Gail Kim, but not enough to keep her down.
As I was saying, she comes in with one of those straight Muay Thai kicks to the arm. She is not unfamiliar with the striking or submission game.
And look at Ivelisse there, sweep the leg and then spin around, immediately follow up again with a kick to the side of the head. Now, The unorthodox pin style attempt there, but not enough to keep Gail Kim down.
Kim, of course, is not unfamiliar with kicks herself, but right now it shows that Ivelisse has had the better of her. Look at this.
Now tying up the arms of Gail Kim. This is a submission hold, but it's also one that puts Ivelisse in a precarious position, because if the referee were around behind her, she'd have to be careful to
There's
make
a
sure
pin
her
right there.
shoulders are not down. And now,
Oh, wow.
like a surfboard,
Modified style. If she would just hook in those feet right there, she would have her in a surfboard maneuver.
well, it's certainly served its purpose to break the momentum of Ivelisse and to give Gail Kim an opportunity to put the game back on her side.
Oh, wow.
Interception there by Ivelisse.
That's the scorpion kick right there.
And Kim absolutely staggered on that part. Those kicks and strikes from the leg have certainly been the most advantageous thing that Ivelisse has had. And now both women going for the same thing, they're putting their opponents down face first, and both ladies down as Kim rolls a little closer to Ivelisse. I thought maybe she was going to try to roll for a pin attempt.
Would have been a smart veteran thing to do, but Ivelisse looked like she was well aware of what Kim was doing
Yeah.
and realized her own positioning in the ring and rolled further away from Kim.
Both of these ladies have had a lot drained out of them. I suspect the first one to get to their feet may have a significant advantage in this contest, and it's really a tie. I couldn't tell which one got up first, and both of them swinging in the midsection. And Kim off the ropes, shoulder tackle puts down Ivelisse. Elbow smash, same thing, Kim off the ropes, running clothesline, dropping Ivelisse. Every single contact there for the past three has done damage to the Dynamite superstar as Kim charges in, throws her whole body weight across the torso, and now gonna pull Ivelisse outside, gonna grapevine the legs on the outside.
We know what this is.
Yeah, the figure four on the outside of the ring.
Using the ring post as that leverage there.
You can't technically call for a submission there, but you certainly can do some serious damage. And again, as I said, the majority of Ivelisse's offensive moves that have been successful in this match have been those Muay Thai kicks. You can't kick if you can't put pressure on the weight to stand on.
That's true. Oh, but it didn't hamper her apparently, as
Not
a
as much as Kim wanted.
straight super kick there seemingly has knocked Kim out.
Could this be it? Is Gail Kim down? No. Ring awareness from the veteran.
Barely though, just barely. If she hadn't reached up and grabbed that ropes, it would have been over, no question about it.
Now Ivelisse dragging Kim further away from the ropes, and this time Kim able to muster up the strength to put the shoulder up.
Kim has enough recovery time, working back to a vertical base here, as is Ivelisse. Ivelisse calling for the end. Oh, what a hard forearm smash,
Kim
Kim!
there, eat defeat. Ivelisse down. Kim rolls up the leg, and it is a victory for Gail Kim.
Well, even though Ivelisse came out and, as you called it, talking trash and being disrespectful earlier, it obviously didn't serve her well, as Gail Kim, the veteran and an all-time great of women's wrestling, showed why she has deserved every moniker she has ever been given in professional wrestling, and Eat the Feet puts Ivelisse down.
I won't say it was easy. Gail Kim certainly had to earn the victory, but it was one that she did indeed earn, and perhaps Ivelisse will have an adjusted attitude and impression of the former Knockouts champion, the former Diners Division champion, one of the greatest of all time, Gail Kim. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we talked about it during the Revolutionary Championship match that the new Revolutionary Champion and won it at this particular event, Chandler Hopkins, at one point forming a tag team with Cody Dixon, the man about to make his way here to the ring. They were the Young Guns, and they were a top tag team here in World Class, but parted of the way and not an adversarial manner. It's the decision on their part to take their own separate paths and pursue some singles opportunities. It paid off well for Chandler Hopkins, but I gotta wonder in this particular instance if it's going to work out as well for Cody Dixon, because he's got a strong challenge on the paper against him. There you see Cody making his way out to the ring. Of course, very popular with the assembled crowd here in Ardmore, Oklahoma, as well as anywhere that he particularly goes. Dixon, a member of the military services as well, and is currently stationed overseas, having to put his wrestling career on hold since the time of the taping of this footage.
Just take in the moment here as Cody's greeted with the fanfare and everything to boot.
Of course, Cody was an up-and-coming star here, as I mentioned before, but again, sometimes when you're moving up that ladder, you come to some pretty big major steps that you got to overcome, and this was going to be one of those big steps.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, the one and only Bully Ray.
You talk about a hurdle.
Yeah, this would have been a huge hurdle for Cody Dixon.
What do you mean would have? It's happening.
Well, that's the thing, is that at the time that this was taped, this was shortly after Bully Ray suffered a very severe concussion in part of his wars with Tommy Dreamer in Ring of Honor. And as you can see, Bully Ray not dressed for competition as he makes his way out to the ring here. And he is here. He's here to acknowledge the fans and to show up and support Romania, support world class. But Bully Ray, and I know he will address this when he gets into the ring, at this particular time it was unclear if Bully Ray if his career was over. It was possible that it was over, done with, and that he was never actually going to be able to wrestle again. But he's still, being the stand-up guy that he was, Bully Ray still felt necessary to fulfill his contractual obligations to at least make the appearance and explain to the crowds what was going on. And I know that Bully Ray wanted to have this match, and obviously I know Cody Dixon wanted to have this match in order to, especially for Cody to try and prove that he could hang with a man who's the caliber of Bully Ray, former two-time world heavyweight champion for TNA, and of course the WWE Hall of Famer as well. But best known for his tag team competitions, 27 different tag team titles across I don't know how many different federations.
Almost anywhere.
Yeah, basically everywhere they went. The Dudley Boys conquered.
TNA, WCW, ECW, of course, WWE. I mean, do I need to keep going?
No, because Bully's got the microphone. You don't want to talk over him.
Thank you very much, everybody. About 2 or 3 months ago, I got a phone call from Terry, the promoter of Oklahoma Mania. He said, "Bully, would you like to come back? I had you here one time. I'd like to have you again." I said, "Absolutely. I had a blast the first time, and I definitely want to come back."
Let's get the off there.
Hey, what are you guys doing over there? Playing tag? That's a lot more fun than what I'm doing, trust me. About a month ago, I was in a match at Ring of Honor, and I suffered a really pretty bad injury, guys. And it was right to the head. And I've been a little foggy ever since. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to wrestle today. I really do apologize. I did not want to back out tonight. I didn't want to no-show the event. I at least wanted to come here. I at least wanted to make eye contact with every single one of you. And just say thank you very much, because fans like you have had my back for from day one. And if it wasn't for fans like you, I would not be here today. So thank you very, very much.
And then to ruin the situation,
Ruin what?
as so often seems to be the case,
Shut the music off. I ain't done talking.
well, never mind, I'm wrong.
Cody Dixon over here. Listen, I've heard a lot about you. Hey, let's keep it down over there, right? Listen, I've heard a lot about you. I watched your videos before I came here tonight, thinking I wasn't going to wrestle you. I think you have a bright future. You're doing a hell of a job here in Oklahoma. I know all these people got your back. So, if it's okay with you, let's take a rain check. Hopefully, one day, if I get better, because honestly, bro, I don't know if I'm ever going to be back in the ring again. And if I'm not, at least I got to see everybody in Oklahoma one last time.
A disappointing scenario at the time, as again the crowd really hoping to look forward to this confrontation between Bully Ray and Cody Dixon, this match between these two. But as I was about to say, because of the sound that came through before, and now it's coming up around again, here to make their presence known, as they so often are, here come members of Devastation Reborn, Prince Mahali and Al Farrat out with steel chairs, and immediately Cody Dixon in, taking care of both of these men, and having to do so again single-handedly. Bully Ray essentially defenseless in this scenario. He can't risk any type of a blow to the head, any type of physical contact.
Well, it's still a one-on-one affair.
Well, it is now, because Dixon removed Al Farrat from the situation.
Al Farrat, who is a stand-up gentleman, much like Prince Mahali is.
Are you really?
I mean, really?
Stand up? Have you met Al Farrat and Prince Mahali?
I have met Al Farrat. I have met Prince Mahali. I'm sorry that you can't get along with them, but I personally can.
Well, and speaking of not getting along, I think maybe
But this seems a little too far.
This is just a question. What's up?
It's more so what's coming down.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate circumstance for Prince Mahali, but that's never usually the end, because after that there's one more thing to do. Cody?
No.
Well, request asked for, and Cody Dixon going to comply, as the old chant that the Dudley boys heard for so many years of tables comes into play one more time, and Cody Dixon will bring a table into the ring.
Well, let's just, again, it seems like this is overkill. There's no reason for this.
Well, there's no reason for Devastation Reborn to interject themselves into this. This was not their spot. This was not their match.
They were making their moment. They were
making their moment. Well, Mahali's about to have his Oklahomania moment here, because he's about to go where so many have gone before.
No, Mahali, not Mahali.
Yes, you want a magic carpet ride? You want to fly?
No.
Crash and burn, Mahali. And I thought maybe Dixon was pointing towards Al Farrat, but if he was, Farrat goes scoured for higher ground.
Well, you don't need to pick on Al Farrat like that. Al Farrat's not an athlete.
Well, it wasn't what was advertised, but cards subject to change sometimes when things happen the nature that they did to Bully Ray in this circumstance.
Oh, you sound like somebody that should get paid by the hour. Cards subject to change.
Bully Ray and Cody Dixon celebrating in the ring. And Prince Mahali, well, yeah, you had your Oklahomania moment. right here at Oklahomania 2 from Ardmore, Oklahoma.
And now they're disposing of them for no reason. Now there goes Bully Ray and Cody.
Well, I guess maybe instead of Dixon tonight, we can call him Cody Dudley.
Let's not. Makes no sense. Now we just need to get some help out here from Holly.
Al Farad, of course, never one to quietly. Well, when Farad getting physical with referee James Beard, that didn't go well for him either. And Mahali about to receive the same. You know, these guys just never learn.
Well, referee shouldn't be laying his hands on talent.
Well, then they don't lay their hands on the referee. It's just that simple.
Well, because he got in their way.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is set for one fall. Introducing first is the Heat Seeker, Montego Seeker.
I'm gon' get it, we gon' get it, and you gon' feel it, and you gon' get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next round is a triple threat match for the IWR Championship.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this heavyweight championship match, triple threat action from Oklahomania 2 out of Ardmore, Oklahoma, 2017. And the first challenger going to make his way to the ring is a man that's very familiar with championships, although not this particular championship in recent months.
Oh, you just been wanting to throw that one out
I
there.
just put it out there just to make sure everybody is aware, because Damon Windsor is one of the few individuals to have held 2 championships in world class, and the only man to have been both the world class champion and the revolutionary champion. He is, of course, the current revolutionary champion now for the second time, having won it off of Randy Price a couple of weeks ago. But on this particular instance, as you can see him preceded by multiple members, recruits of the altar. And there, of course, the evil
It's not evil.
And there behind, the leader of the altar, the second son himself, Damon Windsor. Very ominous presence here as Windsor comes to the ring.
There's many, many followers of the altar. The power of Damon Windsor was on full display in Oklahomania here, being led by the altar.
I find it very disconcerting that we've seen on other occasions that Windsor and Anna Lynn have recruited children into the altar, and that seems to be their primary focus. That's just very, very unsettling that they're able to get into the minds of these young people and to turn them to the beliefs that Damon Windsor preaches so often in his pre-match sermons.
Well, that's what the altar is about. It's learning a new way of life, an altered way of life. And Damon Windsor, the second son, is at the forefront of that new revolution taking place here in world class.
Just an ominous hush here in Ardmore as Windsor and Anna Lynn complete their pre-match rituals. And the first challenger now officially in the ring and set for this triple threat action. And here comes challenger number 2. Second generation superstar, former Intercontinental and World Tag Team Champion in the WWE.
Hey. If you're going to talk about the man, you actually have to hit a certain standard here in this world, and you're not there. You're not cool. This is Carlito, who most certainly is cool.
Carlito.
I didn't say you could talk. You're not cool. You let Carlito come out here, and you let him embrace this audience if he so chooses. But apparently, as you can see, he thinks that these fans are cool. So he's going to embrace them as his own. I'm surprised that the Apple's not out here right now.
Well, I'm sure the Apple.
Hey, I didn't say you could talk. You're not cool. You know, I'm sure Carlito had himself a wonderful time down here in Oklahoma. Got the hospitality, the Oklahoma hospitality, you know, like apple pie, right there with a side of applesauce. Probably washed it down with some apple cider vinegar. Well, actually, he probably put the vinegar on his salad and then washed it down with some apple cider or maybe some apple juice. I know that that's his favorite fruit, so he likes to incorporate apples in all sense of words into his diet.
Really, I'd never have guessed.
That's because you're not cool.
Can I talk now?
No, you cannot. Okay, now you can talk.
Okay. Well, the 2 challengers in the ring, and now comes the heavyweight champion at the time, the Motorcycle Club member, Dane Griffin, a man who had defeated Jerry Bosnick for the heavyweight championship.
The boss.
The boss himself. I had a show in Texas approximately 3 months before this event. Griffin, a longtime member of the world-class roster, a man who was trained alongside Montego Seca, alongside Coyote, alongside Les Main, all under the tutelage of...
What? You said Les Main?
Les Main.
More who?
No, that's his first name is Les.
Oh, I thought it was more.
No, Les.
Oh, you should have gone for more of a better name, don't you think? Is he from Moore, Oklahoma?
No. He was from Tucson, Arizona, but he did live in Moore, Oklahoma at one point.
So Les was Moore.
Okay. Anyway, all of those individuals trained by Al Farad, and they combined to form the core of the original roster for World Class way back in 2007. Dane Griffin, the first to achieve the World Class Heavyweight Championship here. But facing 2 opponents, as we saw with El Fuego when he had the Revolutionary title on the line. Didn't pay off too well for him. We'll see if the same is true here for Dane Griffin.
It's a beautiful belt.
It's a very beautiful belt.
I know you can never wear that.
I'm not wrestling.
I mean, I'm on my way.
A more populace showing a lack of respect and concern for Damon Windsor, and I'm sure he would return the favor.
course, Roberts there likes to always roll his R's. A talent some of us do not have. Thanks for rubbing it in.
Is the current IWR champion,
Carlito seems to have accepted. Well,
Wait a minute.
I take that back. Now is he cool? I think the Ardmore fans think he's cool. I'm pretty sure that Dane Griffin thinks he's cool. But I know that Damon Windsor is not feeling like Carlito is particularly cool right now.
How do you know?
Double elbow smash on the second son. And Windsor clawing his way to better territory on the outside of the ring. Again, fans. Oh, schoolboy there by Carlito. We got it. No, only two. And Carlito says that I can be just that quick, man.
Oh, I mean,
just that quick.
He did it before. He did it against a masterpiece one time. Cost somebody a championship, but he unfortunately didn't get the better of that either. So,
Collar and elbow tie up here by Griffin and into the side headlock. Again, fans, triple threat rules means no disqualifications, no countouts. There must be a winner here by pinfall or submission.
and look at that.
Now the power of both men.
Well, Carlito definitely has improved his physique since being on the.
Oh, look, schoolboy there by Griffin returning the favor, but no closer than Carlito really was. And now Windsor in to capitalize as the two of his opponents were preparing to get a little bit irate with each other and verbal with each other, took their eyes off of Windsor, which is, I'm sure, exactly what he wanted when he left the ring. And now Damon Windsor going to work on the champion. Shots to the midsection. Upstairs and downstairs.
Repeated shots there. Wound up with a hard right to the jaw.
Damon Windsor is not a man who's going to be a technical finesse guy. He never has been. He is a man who uses his size and power to his advantage, and he certainly uses those mind games, especially since embracing this second son persona of his.
And Carlito coming in there, spoiling the plans, breaking up the pinfall attempt.
And look at Carlito and Windsor trade shots back and forth. That was a nice European uppercut there. It staggered Carlito, but did not put him down.
And now we see Carlito on the ropes, literally. Irish whipped off.
A duck underneath there by Carlito. Straight left hand. Carlito the southpaw going to work on Windsor.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about that. I don't think you should be able to wrestle if you're a lefty.
What? Why are you going to discriminate against genetics?
Because it's so unorthodox and it's unfair to your commonality of righties. I know that spine buster wasn't common of Carlito.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck back on the fact that...
All right, it's time to move forward now, Burnham,
let's
as
do
we
that.
saw the
Let's-
breakup
let's
attempt.
just do that.
As we go forward, Damon Windsor is putting the boot to the side of the head there of the champion.
Griffin trying to fire back. A couple of shots to the midsection. Gets Griffin bit back on his feet, but is met with a big boot by Windsor, who puts the champion down. But
People need to embrace this altar here. He's been trying to let people see the light.
does he pay you to say these things?
What do you mean, is he paid?
Does he pay you to shill for his...
You can't pay me for my beliefs, Burnham. You only can pay me as if I'm doing what I'm doing right now, which is carrying you on this commentary.
Seems like every time that Damon Windsor is out here, you're encouraging the fans to embrace him, to follow him, just like he does. We have to hear it enough from him, and thankfully he didn't preach a sermon before this match, but we're getting it out of you.
Well, first off, don't disrespect my beliefs. Don't disrespect my passions, and don't disrespect any faith I may have. Because guess what? Windsor has preached that faith to many others. And as you saw earlier, he's got people following him. So I don't really see how that's a bad thing, considering you don't have any followers, do you? I didn't think so. Hard Irish whip sends Damon Windsor into Carlito from Griffin.
And Griffin continuing on there, but Griffin now tossed to the outside, leaving both challengers again. And this is a very bad position for Griffin. He can't win the match on the outside. One of these men could pin the other one, and Griffin would be without that championship, and he wouldn't even have to lose the match.
Nope, there is no champion's advantage here this evening. There is no count out, no disqualification, pinfall, or submission is the only way that this match will end in the ring. And that is not to the favor, like you said, of the champion. Nobody, he doesn't have to be involved in that decision, which is always the, look at that, Carlito.
Well, Carlito finding it difficult to get Damon Windsor over. And
summoning his inner Big Papa Pump, maybe?
no. And again, I mentioned the power that Damon Windsor puts on display, and that's what he relies on so much.
That's the altar there for you. That's that power within.
He's always had that power, whether he referred to it as the altar or whether he called it something else. Windsor grabbing onto the throw. Oh, backstabber by Carlito. And Carlito crawling his way over. Drapes the leg over. Referee in good position too. And look at Anna Lynn.
And no disqualifications, Bernard.
Well, it's true. But again, right there, Carlito could very well have been the heavyweight champion if not for Anna Lynn saving her man.
Oh, coulda, woulda, shoulda, and didn't. So let's move forward again. Let's move past the past. Oh, no. Hold on now, Carlito.
Well, you know, if no disqualifications, if she wants to get physical in the match, maybe Carlito says, let's get physical in the match.
No. That's a man-on-woman situation there. Obviously, Anna Lynn is nowhere near the stature of Carlito. He needs to leave her alone. He needs to leave her alone right now.
So quickly there, and Windsor waiting in baited opportunity.
The right prevail. The altar again right there. Praise be to Damon.
Oh, look who's made their way back into the ring. That's Dane Griffin. So whether or not Windsor or Carlito get in, and it's going to be Windsor not given the opportunity to make the choice. Griffin going to grab hold of Carlito, throw him into the ring. And Griffin going to try to get back in as well, but Windsor yanking Griffin off the ropes.
Oh, and a hard, stiff shot right there by Griffin now. Rolling back in.
Oh, nobody home there in the corner. As Griffin collides with the turnbuckle, Carlito easily sidestepping that, and a sidestepping again, having both opponents do his work for them.
Inadvertently, that is.
And Carlito now, with both opponents stacked up, nobody home though, as they both move out of the way, and Carlito lands very gingerly on that second turnbuckle. Windsor and Griffin now trading it out in the middle of the ring.
Yes, they are. They both know the importance of this match.
Up, swing and a miss there. Windsor being picked up. Very few people can exert this level of power. But Dane Griffin, look at him muscle Windsor over and down in a fallaway slam.
That was unbelievable strength and power there by the champion.
And Griffin going upstairs, and again, that evil wins.
Hey, watch it. She is not evil. She is a follower. And look at that, paying dividends.
Yes, she did. That I'll agree with you with. She pays dividends every time she makes herself presence known.
Why are you speaking with such disgust?
Windsor with his eyes off of Carlito has no idea that Carlito... Oh, there's the apple. You asked about the apple. The apple is being consumed.
Oh, wait, hey, yeah, no, hold on now. Hold on. That's disrespectful of the altar.
Well, Windsor sees it.
The altar does not deal with spitting a fruit.
Windsor trying to beg that up. Oh! Straight in the face of Anna Lynn! And she's melting like a witch.
You hush your mouth when you talk to her like that.
And look at the eyes of Damon Windsor as he goes tumbling over the top. Carlito left in the ring with Dane Griffin. Backstabber by
no,
it wasn't. Griffin held on. Griffin held on.
That's the wherewithal of the champion there to hold on there. It's back to a one-on-one contest as Dane Griffin has Carlito hoisted.
Oh, Griffin down. Backstabber by Carlito, this time fully connected.
That can do it right now. Oh, but wait a minute.
Windsor slides in. Windsor grabbing hold of Carlito. Dumps Carlito to the outside. And Windsor waiting for an opportunity here.
Windsor summoning the strength from the altar.
As he grabs hold and drops Griffin head first.
This can do it.
Hooks the leg. And
it does.
The new world-class champion. As the altar.
Now, you didn't believe in the altar. You didn't believe in this, did you?
I did not.
So let's say it again. This has been the altar success. Damon Windsor is your new world-class heavyweight champion.
Damon Windsor, so thrilled to have put that championship within the confines. I think that Windsor's going to have an unhappy moment with the sound guy because that's not his music playing, but nonetheless, Damon Windsor, the new world-class champion.
Look at that. The altar hoisting the title high above. Are you a believer yet, Burnham? Do you believe?
I'm not a believer in what it is that Damon Windsor espouses, but I will believe that he was successful on this particular night. And that we know that he's been successful in capturing championship gold on other occasions. But at this particular time, this was the pinnacle of Damon Windsor's career.
And listen to that. Your champion, Damon Windsor, showed here that this was his altar